Beleshi, I'm happy to come to you once again. Now today we'll talk about the greeting Beleshi or Beshi, which is like the short form without the le. Okay, now before I talk about the greeting Beleshi, there are certain parts of that greeting which I will have to explain. For example, the le in Beleshi. That le, you find it in words and expressions that require the power of lemi, the power of lemi, the power of divinity, the power of God. Okay, I remember the English Bible, when it talks about God there, is not just referring to one man, it's referring to the powers of divinity. Elemi. The powerful spirits and expressions of the Most High. When it says in the beginning, Elemi created. Now you know what he's talking about. Lemi in Bak or Ejagham language means do. So it refers to power to do. Ba lem, come and do. You have Lemi, Elohim, Elimi. That le is it. That's where the power is. That's where the power is. Like I say, Alleluia, Ale, Ale. They even put Luya again. So that lemi, power to do. That's what is being used as powers, gods. When he uses the term God in the English Bible, it's plural actually, referring to the powers of divinity. Elimi, the divine power. So lemi is in our tongue. Bao lem, come let us do this. Lem jana kame, do this for me, do this one for me. When it says ye are gods, the word was elimi. It says ye are gods and all of you are children of the Most High. The word was elimi. When he talks about the sons of God, talk about the sons of Eleni. And these didn't have to be people who came dropped from heaven, no. They were born here on earth. Elemi. So when you hear le, that is the root of Elohim, Elemi, Eloha. There has to be le. That's what gives the power of divinity. That's what brings it in. So when you say Beleshi, B is a forceful expression of the word. Just like you have Mbe as the leopard, which we say is king in Ejagham. And like I said, is the origin of the African concept of the leopard as king. Here, Ejagham, Mbe. So when we have Mbe here, you have Bes in Egypt. You see, the force is not there. So Mbe, Nyambe, Mbe. That force, that energy that is provided by the bear is what we are talking about. So when you say Beleshi, B is there, Le is there. I told you that it has to do with God, Elemi, the powers and spirits that are for us. Beleshi. So you have B there, you have Le there, then you have she. If you read book of Hosea chapter 2 verse 16, you see it talks about Ishi. Ishi. Ishi is husband. Ishi is salvation. Ishi is your captain. Talked about the helmet of salvation, right? Yes. Ishi is head. Ishi is the same as Sha. 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 So whenever you see Ishi, you're talking about something, an intervention of divinity in our affairs. An intervention for good. Ishi, bringing salvation. Ishi, setting you apart for blessing and honor in the midst of crisis. You are exempted. You are promoted. You are lifted. You are saved. Ishi is the same as Sha. Usha. Ishi. They all represent the same thing. Salvation. Being set apart. Saved. Holy. Blessed. Okay, may I just remind us of the Bako Ejagham translation for the word Sha, because it's a Bako Ejagham word. When you, for example, want to leave food for somebody, okay, you want to leave some food for somebody, a plate of food, you could tell the person, Nshandrang is remaining one. Okay, or someone say Sha teke kame, remain some for me. Sha means to remain, to save, remnants. That's what the scriptures refer to when they talk about salvation. The remnant, the saved. So Brunjimesha, see those that have been saved, see the remaining. I'm speaking Bako Ejagham language, and this is the exact context. So Sha is save in Bako Ejagham language. It is not strange to us. All praises. Ya Kabanse. And that is where the Paleo Hebrew Sha for save or salvation, and which was used for savior, came from. That's where the word Sha in Paleo Hebrew came from. So this greeting says, bless. He puts all the force inside, and then divinity, bringing that salvation and intervention and blessing to you. Bleshi. Bleshi. Some people say beshi. Some say bleshi. 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 Beshi. Is an invocation of she, blessing, salvation, intervention of divinity, intervention of eternity in your affairs. Is by she. We have Ishi all over here. Names of people, names of towns. My hometown is called Ishibor. There's Ishi Tamte. There's Ishi Inyima. There's Ishi Aya. All these are names of communities and towns around where I am. Same thing with Aya. We have Umuruya. Our rivers are called Aya. Those are the rivers of living water, Aya. So let's go back to Bleshi. B brings force, power, Bleshi, power, and then divinity in bringing she to you. Bleshi. All praises to the Most High. Yakabanse. Yakabanse. Alleluia. Ya. All praises. All praises. So when I ask any young boy or young girl, any elder, the first thing they tell you when you say, what is the meaning of Beshi or Beleshi? In fact, when I was growing up, that was the first thing in my language I learned. Even when I couldn't even speak a sentence in my language, my dad taught us, because we were living in my hometown. Okay, there are several languages around this area. So you may be living in your state, but not necessarily in your hometown where you speak your own language. So there are several languages here. But people are related, but several languages, dialects, and so on. So I didn't grow up speaking my language. I had to learn it the same way some of you are. So I was told Beshi is good morning. And that is the first definition you get from most people. Good morning. But as I grew, that definition didn't seem satisfactory to me. Of course, it's the greeting we greet when you see anyone in the morning. It's the greeting we greet. I asked, if it's good morning, why do we also greet Beshi or Bleshi at night? When you are leaving the person, the same way you use good night, we also use Beshi. Why? I asked why. I asked myself these questions because I knew they didn't know, and some of them will be surprised, if they come across this video. Well, they wouldn't be surprised. They would acknowledge that they've had these same thoughts, but nobody gets to question. Okay, we grew up, we're told it is Beshi, good morning. But how come we also greet the same greeting at night? How come? Then a few years ago, I was going through the scriptures and I looked and saw in the beginning, one word, Bereshit. 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 I said, this is it, Beleshi. Now, there are certain words that when you see it being translated, you know those who translated it or who put it in the language you can understand now do not have the tongue. Just like I told you, instead of B, you would find them represented with just B. Okay? Just like I told you, Mbe. Okay? Became Bess in Nubia.
And Egypt.
Because they don't have the B. Mbe. Mbe. But when you meet the original people, you can hear that sound. B, B, B. Mbe. It's GB. G, letter G, B. Mbe. Okay, so here's some comments from a forum where they were talking about that GB sound. Okay, they were talking about that sound. Of course, it's known to be a West African sound, GB. B. So they were talking about it, and look at the funny comments from some of them.
This one said, my phonetics professor told me I can make those sounds just fine, but I can't for the life of me hear the difference between the double articulation and just B.
This one said, the GB sound in question being the labial velar consonant, GB. That is G and B articulated simultaneously, not one after the other, like in the cluster GB. Yes, they do have trouble with it, since as far as I know, it appears in no European language. I myself have learned to pronounce a variety of non-English consonants, but I still cannot figure how to pronounce GB or KP. All right. And KP is another one. That's ba. Okay. GB is B. Both of them are West African in the homeland. For anyone who wasn't born in this region, it will take the spirit of Ya, Eridu, to give you that sound in your tongue. Okay? To put it in your tongue. B, 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 B. Okay? Beshi. So, instead of Beleshi, you see Beresit. And like I told you, S, just like you have C, you also have She. Same thing. That's why you have Isa. It's the same thing as Isha. And they all mean the same thing. Salvation, joy, completeness, wholeness, all the blessings that come with this intervention of divinity in our affairs. So, Beleshi was represented in writing by those who do not have the tongue as Beresit. Beresit. The same thing with R and L. R and L are used interchangeably. If you understand the Igbo tongue, you will know what I'm talking about. R and L are used interchangeably. If it's not R, sometimes they use R to represent the L sound, and vice versa. The same thing with Y and J. The Biblios will know about it. Sometimes they use the Y sound to represent J, and vice versa. Even the Ejagham. We can say Yama, which is mine. It's also correct to say Jama, which is also mine. Ya is yours. Ija, Ja is yours. Ya is yours. Ja is also yours. Ko Ija, Ko Ya, take yours. Mean the same thing. Y and J interchangeably. These are the people they call the Hebrews, the ones who have the tongue. I would tell you what the origin, the root word for Hebrew, and why Hebrew, Kabiru, and the rest of them, Ibri, are all correct. Because they have the roots. When I'm discussing Abraham, I would enter that. So R interchangeably is used interchangeably with L, the same way Y is used interchangeably with J. And like I said, the B sound is represented most times by B. So you may be misled, or you may not pick it when you're studying the way they write the Paleo Hebrew. But I saw it because Yah opened my eyes. So before I end this video, we're going to do a very simple exercise, and it will blow your mind what you discover. All praises. All praises. Now, pay attention. You can put your left hand at the back of your ears as you pay attention to yourself as you say the greeting. You may say it not too loud, but the idea is to pay attention. You're saying it to yourself. Okay? So why I put my hand, or I advise that you put your hand behind your ears as if you want your ears to pick the sound as it's coming out of your mouth. So you say blessing. Blessing. Keep saying it. Blessing. 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 Now, you will say it again this time, attempting to pick the English word that you seem to be saying. Say it again. Blessing. 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 What English word are you hearing? Some of you get it now. What English word are you hearing? That is it. We have the root word. Now in the comment section, I want you to announce it. Announce it. What is the English word you got? Blessing. 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 All praises to the Most High. So with that, I'll say, blessing.